Okay, so anybody who has been watching this channel recently will know that I've been trying to understand a device known as Name the Trait, and that I've been struggling to do so. Now, today I've either made a step forward in understanding Name the Trait, or I've taken a step in the wrong direction. And I'm hoping that people watching this, if I've taken a step in the wrong direction, can explain to me where I'm going wrong and why. Because I do actually want to understand Name the Trait one day, and that's the destination I'm reaching out for. Okay. At the time of making this video, it appears to me that perhaps I'm finding it difficult to understand Name the Trait because it can't be understood, and that Name the Trait is actually it's actually a trick, and the trick lies in the construction of the question, not what the question is about, and not the ideas that have been bolted onto it. So the fact that Name the Trait is about animals and humans is not relevant to the trick itself and how it works. It's the fact that it's about morality or value, or this ambiguous term called moral value, or the fact that it concerns itself with the ideas around like slaughter being justified or not. Like, none of that's relevant to the trick. Okay, to the trick that is Name the Trait. That trick, I believe, at the time of making this video, is that Name the Trait is a question that cannot be answered. Okay, it's in the framework that the question lays out. Anybody who responds cannot possibly answer it. It's asking you to differentiate between two groups while simultaneously, in the way that it's written, not allowing for any distinction between the two groups to be made. Okay. And I've not completely unpacked exactly how this trick works. If anybody also thinks it's a trick from what I've said in this video and can elaborate or make it a bit more clear how it works, I welcome that. Now, as I said before, like what it's talking about, Name the Trait, it's not really like that important to how the trick works. But I'm gonna keep it about animals and humans, okay, in my example here, but I'm going to change like humans and animals, the group humans and the group animals, to the group humans and the group non-humans, just to avoid the sort of overlap that humans are animals. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is that Name the Trait is asking you to define a difference between humans and non-humans, while basically making it impossible for anybody answering the question to do so. Now, I think people will agree with this, that it's easy for us to identify something as either human or non-human. It's a real thing. You know, we can look at like a group of people in a cafe. We can go, okay, they're humans. Okay, we can look at a herd of cows and we can say they are not humans. Okay, within Name the Trait, though, it doesn't allow you to do that. So let's strip away all the things that have been bolted onto Name the Trait and see what I believe lies under the hood. Now, if I'm wrong at this point, I want you to pause the video and explain how this is not actually what Name the Trait is if we pull everything off it. Okay, name a trait lacking in a member of the group, non-human, that if it was also lacking in a member of the group, human, would make that individual no longer a member of the group, human. This is what I believe Name the Trait is doing. It's dressed up and delivered in a way that it's difficult for people to see the clear trap lying in it, and the fact that it can't possibly be answered. but this is what I believe it is underneath. So an example could be name a trait lacking in a cow, that if it was also lacking in a human, would make that individual no longer human. Now you're not going to answer that question if I ask you, okay? But the way you're going to see that it's a futile fucking exercise. But countless people engage with this question when asked by vegan activists in the street, and when it's had everything bolted onto it. Name a trait lacking in a cow. And if you're going to ask this question, if you're going to answer this question, and you don't see that it's a trap, you're probably going to say something like, okay, complex reasoning, in which case the person asking the question can say, okay, what about retards? They don't have complex reasoning. Are you saying, therefore, that a retard is no longer human, that a retard is not human? Is that what you're saying? You could say a child, a young child or a baby doesn't have complex reasoning. Are you saying that a baby is not human? Now then, bolted onto that is the idea of rights or value or treatment, okay? But that's not important to how the trick works. The trick is just in the fact that it's asking you to define the difference but not allowing you to at the same time. Note that it's name a trait, okay? I think that's important to how it's done. We could run a few more things through, I don't know. Name a trait lacking in a tree, that if it was also lacking in a human would make that individual no longer human. If you were stupid enough to try and answer that, which is impossible because of the way anything you come up with basically negates itself. You might say, well, a tree can't see. Then I'm just going to say, okay, what about Stevie Wonder? Like Stevie Wonder can't see. He's blind. Are you saying Stevie Wonder's not a human? It's a trick. It's a very simple trick. If I'm right, it's just the way it's dressed up. It's difficult for people to see, and even when people try to, that they sense that like name the traits like a con, right? Like it's a trap, because it's so dressed up. They're trying to attack the things around it, like rather than the construction itself. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me your feedback. If you think I'm right, tell me why you think I'm right. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why. What I'm hopefully working towards finally is an understanding of name the trait. And if it is a trick, I would like to be able to, in a simple way, articulate how it's a trick and how it works. So in leaving, let's just leave this up as a final thought so people can respond. This is what I believe name the trait is. It's a question that can't be answered within the framework that it lays out, and what it's asking is, name a trait lacking in a non-human, that if it was lacking in a human, would make that individual non-human. Thank you for watching.
Charlie Chaplin entered a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest in Monte Carlo and came in third. Now that's a story. This is something else.
So that's a Kansas City shuffle?
No. It's just the inciting incident. The catalyst. This is a Kansas City shuffle.
They look right.
And you go left.